Good day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am here with Anita Steyn from Safetysheild. So, Anita, tell us a little bit more about yourself and what the podcast is going to be about.
Well, welcome everyone. My name is Anita Steyn. I represent a company called Safetysheild. Safetysheild represents basically a shield of protection. So it also brings in feminine energy into the world of business. So obviously a shield, as you know, is something that protects you. So that's literally why I registered the name for the company. Okay, so my company is about 3 years old. So I embarked on a journey that was unplanned. And I thought, well, the creative side of me thought, when all of this happened, let's use it and kick off as my octopus in Safetysheild as a product, as the very first trademark product of the company. So I'm also quite a positive person. So I normally look at situations and I think, right, what was the lesson through all of this? And then let's share the story. Let's share the story and empower other people, the whole world, so that if anything similar happens to anyone, that you are educated and empowered to know exactly what to do and how to control the situation and to prevent something similar from happening to you.
All right. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what the story is? What happened?
Well, the theme is ultimately you, that's you and me and everyone listening. You are a data subject, right? So from the moment you enter the world, your name gets registered, there's medical records associated to you. Through your whole life cycle, there's data. So whether it's data recorded on a electronic format, computers, cell phone, audio, visual, videos, information you submit to any company when you take out policies, when you do investments, doesn't matter. So it's you as a data subject. All right. So your data is it important for you?
Yeah, of course.
Why is your own data important for you?
Privacy.
Privacy. So, and I think if we touch on privacy, that starts with the constitution. In any country's constitution, that is your ultimate right, human right, to privacy. So I think if I have to do a survey to see how many people are actually educated and informed, to know whether they are really have taken control of their data and the privacy thereof. I think it will be quite an eye opener, which I'll probably do. Maybe I'll do a survey to see, just to get feedback on the understanding of people of their data privacy.
So there's a term going around data mining, illegal data mining. What is that? Tell us a bit more about what that is.
Okay, so mining, by the nature of the word, is when you take something.
Sure.
All right. So you collecting something. In the case of data, you need to. Where will you get data? So you would have to access a data subject's data. So obviously and typically, data would be, well, your equipment, your electronic equipment. So for example, a computer. We're entering the internet. We're in the Internet of Things era. So that means some people, some companies, some cultures are already on smart devices. Well, smart devices, your watch, well, to touch on health, your heart rate monitor, pacemakers, various medical data is already collecting personal data, your medical aids. I mean, did you do your 10,000 steps for the day, right? Your tracker on your vehicle, that's data for insurance companies. So, and then your equipment in your homes, your smart things, as I call it, for energy consumption tracking and whatever. So those are all different forms of data. Then let's talk to the youth. Not the youth. I think the adults enjoy social media more than the children. Instagram, Facebook. What else? Truth. What is that Truth social platform? I'm not on that one. LinkedIn. So those are various, dating sites. I've never been on one of those, but dating sites. So there's various social media platforms where you also share a lot of your information. So that's the easy mining. That's easy. You actually get people that get paid by various companies to sit and harvest just that data on social media platforms, and they get paid for that content. Okay, well, that's easy. That is actually, I don't like it, because what are we creating? We're creating a generation of people who don't think for themselves. We're creating a generation of copycats. We want authenticity. We want people to create. This is what I'm doing.
So what's the difference between data mining and then illegal data mining?
Okay, so data mining, so typically, now remember, to bring it back to Safetysheild and my Octopus Tool, it's a business. And what do you think, what is the purpose of a business? Why would a person actually register a company? You want to make money, right? Why would any business be in business? Otherwise, we would all just be free spirits floating on earth. We don't have to pay for anything. How wonderful. But we don't live in that era. So, for me, obviously, starting a business as an entrepreneur, but I see myself as also, I'm talking about me, because I'm the founder member, but hopefully the team will grow. So Safetysheild work with global companies, and in the Internet of Things era, we all have the capability to drive global companies. That is what the Internet of Things is all about. It's a tool to enable us to sit anywhere in the world and have a profitable business. Okay, so obviously, if let's start with, I register the company, so I work on my electronic equipment, right? So what do? I am in the industry where I am licensed to work with various products.
Okay.
All right. So that is important for me. That data and information is important for me and my credibility as a consultant. Okay. So that would be one form of data that people would want to illegally take from me. All right. Okay. If I create something new, like I did with my Octopus Tool, now I need to code it, because I went through a creative thought process. It's my mind, it's my experience, it's my energy. It's me as a data subject, as the founder member of a company which is supposed to make money, right? So then, obviously, which way would people get into your information? So normally the easiest would be hacking, okay? Blatant hacking, and there's obviously cybersecurity. There's a whole lot of hacking methods.
Sure.
and approaches, and you get the white collar, I think they call them white collar hackers, the professional hackers, phishing emails, etc. So, but so obviously you need to have your cybersecurity protocols in place, which I have. So, but if you're breaking into my systems, that makes you illegal and a criminal, because that's, you didn't belong. It's like someone breaking into your home.
Yeah.
You don't belong here.
Yeah, of course.
You do not belong into my electronic equipment to take what doesn't belong to you. Okay? So obviously your computer would be one. If they have access to your equipment and they uploaded something that runs in the background, so literally, if I see some businessmen who tell me, I don't have to work hard, I just sit back and make money, I get worried sometimes, because then I obviously ask a question based on my personal experience.
Yeah.
So when you sit back, how are you making that money?
Yeah.
Because remember, like, if there's a background program running on your equipment, that's one way of illegal data mining as well. Then obviously communication devices. So how do we communicate? Via telephone. It's a phone, you call meetings. So if you are on a cell phone network, cell phone companies have a legal responsibility to ensure you, as a data subject, your data is protected.
So can I ask you, I know it's a personal journey and you will definitely share that more with us in a later episode, but when did this happen? So how long did this process, when did this happen? And how did you find out that this is happening to you? Because I think if it's running in the background, you don't really realize that it's happening. And when you realize, it's like, is this really happening? Which is leaving you in a very, very vulnerable place. So tell us a bit more about when did it happen and how did you realize that it's happening to you?
Okay, so I was, at the time I was of just registering a company. I was also a student, and then obviously you have ways of frequently changing your passwords, etc. And then I realized I changed the password, and then if I wanted to log in, the password was overridden, and that continued, and so obviously I thought, right, so there's someone in my equipment. Then also on my emails, I mean, deliberately there would be changes to email communication and contracts. Now I'm in business. I'm not in a circus. Because I'm not a clown and I don't entertain clowns. So if you change wording on contracts, you're really messing with you're messing with my bread and butter. You're scratching in my wallet. My company wallet.
So this is why you want to share your story, right? Is to help other people notice when this is happening to them. And tell us a bit more about how you felt in this process. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about what is the Octopus Tool, and then also about the hotline and the donations and helping people. But just for now, how did it make you feel when you were going through this?
Okay, so I obviously engaged. I've got cybersecurity protocols in place. I've got the right software in place. I've got various control gateways, like you should have. And so this was a different kind of hacking. And like I said as well, to last note on the hacking, when I started talking to the hacker through my passwords, and I realized I'm pressing buttons. That's, I'm grateful. But then I knew it was not someone that knew me very well. Okay, so which makes it very interesting, but that's why I wrote the book. Okay, so I obviously then went to my IT consultant again. So we tried, so just to make sure, just get that third professional opinion.
Yeah.
And then I continued. But it was a constant electronic harassment.
And the period of that, how long?
Well, that was a period of 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So from
Yeah.
when I registered my company.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a long time. I was basically targeted. So
Okay.
so obviously my first concern was with me and with my Octopus Tool. We're also rolling out an e-learning platform. Obviously, we will be educating the world. Was one of my biggest concerns were the intellectual property of the training company, which I did my studies through. Okay, so that's always your big concern, because if you are in my passwords, then are you pulling off every keystroke of information? And that is a bit of a problem. So of course I engaged with them, but on a psychological level, obviously it felt like rape. Well, I don't know how rape feels, but I think that would have been, you feel naked, you feel vulnerable, you feel, I think that's in front of strangers. So I think any person can relate to that. Stand naked in front of strangers. How would that feel? That's how it felt. So obviously my confidence in terms of one of the other first things I did obviously was to engage with my existing clients, to protect them and their intellectual property. I will not continue for now to work with them. So, and you can imagine for a business, the business is supposed to make money. It was a big problem for me. So then you have that concern. How can I work with my clients? They are they are harassing me electronically with the tools that I need to be able to do my work. Some of my big clients were not a problem, because when I engage with them, I work on their servers. So that was a different story. They were protected. But so
it negatively affected your credibility, right?
I think now to try and understand, why would people do that? Why would you want to stop a female who's just registered a company, who's got a lot to offer for the industry? I've got approximately 35 years various industry experience, and I started in the hardcore industries because that was the advice I was given when I entered my world of work. So I've got so much to give back. Why would you want to discredit me? Why would you want to drive me insane? Try to, Why would you try to drive me mentally, psychologically insane and assassinate my character? So definitely an attempt to discredit me. So I think, well, I don't know, I should ask you, what do you think from the outside? Why would people want to discredit someone like that and stop you from operating in business? Why?
It's a good question. I hope maybe you can leave in the comments what you think the answer is on that. All right. So I think, as you explain, it sounds traumatic, and that is also why and we can speak a little bit more about that. You will be setting up a hotline. So I think also you say that the process was about 3 years for you, which is a really long time. What support did you have? And if there wasn't any support for you, is that the reason for creating a hotline? And how are you planning on helping other people who this is going to happen to?
Okay, Well, I did feel quite alone, although I did reach out. Like I said, first thing is you try to secure your equipment. Then also the cell phone. Don't forget about your phone. They would scratch around on my phone as well. We just switch the light back on. So the first thing was to engage with the professionals, and then okay, now you've done that. But then from a psychological point of view, so you talk to people, but I mean,
What can they do? How can they help?
They can't do anything.
Yeah.
So then it becomes, it's your problem. You own it. You have to own your problem. So obviously it's stress as well. Coincidentally, well-being and stress management was also again one of the topics that I also covered through my studies. So that's something I will be giving back through training. As a coping strategies. How, and take you through that journey. How did I keep my mind and my neurological system healthy?
Yeah.
So I think that was for me ultimately my natural instinct. If you're in fight and flight mode, so obviously remember as a student, so they wanted to discredit me as a client, as a consultant, they wanted to stop me as a student.
Yeah.
Hold me back. There were, to share a hair raising, which I only realized later, even some questions on my question paper was changed. So then you are really on a mission to discredit me.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously, first thing is make sure you are okay. So eat right, sleep well, exercise, cold water showers to be like an electric arc in a furnace, which spikes your neurological system and keeps your neurons well balanced. So I did a lot of that. I removed myself from certain situations, got out of my surroundings to change that, but that even didn't help. So my harassers followed me. So I think, did I answer the complete question?
Yeah, I think I think the gist of it is definitely there's a need for a hotline and support, but we will get to that a little bit later again. I want you to talk a little bit more about, just quickly, because we're wearing these beautiful t-shirts today, my Octopus Tool. Tell me a little bit about the idea behind it. In another episode, we can talk a bit more about what my Octopus Tool is, but tell us a little bit more about the t-shirt. Donations, you say that some of the sales will go to donations, and just this beautiful design of the t-shirts we're wearing today.
Okay, so firstly, the t-shirt will be, well, I think I did tell the story of the octopus. The octopus looks like a neuron, right? Well, this one is a very Eastern one with a little bit of a meditation approach. I picked this one.
Yeah.
It was locally designed by a guy called Colin and his team. So it represents the neuron.
Yeah.
Each sucker on its 8 arms, let's talk about its arms, represents data points. So obviously I'm going to take you through a journey of you and your data points and your different categories of data. So and then using the octopus as a creative outlet, going through a creative thought process, creative problem solving and critical thinking to try and understand, why did all of this happen to me? Why did people want to target me and steal my data? And what are the different types of categories of data that they mined illegally without my consent and permission? is how I came up with my Octopus Tool.
And
So-
what is my Octopus Tool?
So my Octopus Tool is a creative, critical, problem-solving thought process methodology, which is in software
Okay.
and obviously on an app to make it more
To
mobile.
make you safe against intellectual property, right? Because we all have intellectual property. So illegal data mining is taking your intellectual property without consent. So the Octopus Tool is the software which will now protect you against that.
Correct. You as data
Okay.
subject, and you can be also a company, because I ultimately stole from Safetysheild. I'm just the founder member.
Okay.
But each individual, because in the era where we live in, if you look at an influencer, for example, influencer is a new job title. They have a lot of freedom and they work with a lot of data
Mhm.
as well. So on an individual basis, well, you can look at me. I'm a one-woman business. I'm a data subject. So it's to help you to make sure that you know which data is going where, and you
Yeah.
educate your children as well.
Yeah.
And then to protect it. The hotline obviously is an immediate in any phase of part of the story. If you relate to anything of our story, then you can call in on the hotline and we will provide you with assistance.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Listen, previously you mentioned something about a book. A book's coming out. Tell us just quickly about the book that's coming out.
Okay, so the book will be the backbone of the book is basically still the theme remaining you as a data subject.
Mhm.
So you will completely understand what data is, what your data is,
Yeah.
how to control it, how to manage it,
How to protect
how
yourself.
to protect yourself and your data,
Yeah.
and maybe empower you to actually become, well, using the data to make money with it as well. Because that's
Your own data.
Your own data.
Yeah.
You making money with your own data.
Yeah. Yes.
Because and then, so obviously in the book, I'm going to share a lot of personal emotions,
Okay.
a lot
Your
of
journey.
my journey.
Yeah.
And then the funds generated, 50% of the sales of the book will be set up in an available fund for non-profit to create safe spaces. Now, safe spaces means different things for different people.
Yeah.
And if you just think of, come back to my story, my safe spaces, my computer is supposed to be my safe space in cyber security, in cyber space. My phone
Yeah.
is supposed to be a safe space with my data in the cyber space world. Your home can be a safe space. What's a safe space for a child? Their home.
Yeah.
To bring in a little girl very close to my heart because I went and I helped to look for her, Jocelyn Smith. She went missing. She didn't, if you go and look at where did she live, she wasn't protected. So she didn't have a safe space. So a safe space can be a community center for kids where they can run to or know that they can go. There's people watching out for them.
Yeah.
So safe spaces means different things.
Yeah,
so
sure.
that money will be donated for that.
Okay. That's beautiful.
Channeled for that. Yeah, and also t-shirt sales.
Great.
So should anyone relate to the story and they want to
Yeah.
buy a t-shirt, part of the money will also be contributed to that fund and donated.
I think on that high note, we can end the conversation for today. And yeah, I think we all look forward to your story and hearing how the healing happened and your journey and how we're going to help other people get through this. So yeah, thank you so much for your time and thank you for sharing your story, Anita. And we see you the same time next week, same place. So look after each other, look after yourself, and we'll see you then.
See you then. Thank you. Bye.